All right, guys, today we've got a customer's 2015 GMC Yukon Denali in the shop. He had a couple of different issues. He originally brought the vehicle in because the laser guided cruise control was not working. He said he could not get the cruise control to work at any speed at all. The person that sold him the vehicle gave him an aftermarket cruise control to install. Right, not the right way to do things, guys. When I saw all of the options this vehicle had and the way it should work, we wanted to get to the basis of what caused the problem with why it wouldn't work. His secondary complaint, when he would start to put fuel in the vehicle, it would get, you know, $5, $10 in and boom, splash him back in the face, like started to kick fuel back at him. He'd give it a little bit of time, he would do it all over again. Now, normally, that's a vent valve problem, something to do with the EVAP system. Fairly common issue for a parts failure. But what we found on this one is a little bit different, guys. So we're going to take a look first at the radar system. You can see this part right here, okay? This bracket has been bent, okay? And although I snapped it back in place here, when the vehicle came in, this was sitting like this, and it pops like this the moment you drive the vehicle because the bracket is bent right here, guys, okay? Some tell you whether they were working on it, something hit the bumper, there's been some body work done, customer wasn't sure, but effectively this bracket has got to be 100% square, bolted in. This then fits to the bracket. We have to pull the bumper off of it. Then we have to level this sensor both laterally and horizontally. And then we have to get this basically calibrated, and the laser guided cruise control should work. Now, where our big surprise came, honestly, was thinking we were going to test a vent valve situation on this. And what we found when we pulled the purge valve line off was actually a handful of charcoal, guys. It literally had been pulled from the charcoal canister back here all the way up to the front of the engine, and it literally came out. We had a handful of charcoal, so that whole line is full of charcoal. Now, what causes that? Why did it do it? Let me tell you. If you fill up your gas tank, you put your fuel in, guys, when that thing stops, stop. Don't try and get to the next round dollar. Don't try and top it off. Don't give it another click. When it's full, let it stop, pull the nozzle and move on. If you attempt to continually fill this up, let's get to the next round dollar, and I'm guilty of it, guys. But let's try and get that little bit more in, right? We don't want to go to the gas station again. Let's get that little bit more in. And we try and fill it up, and we keep popping and popping the gas nozzle. We're filling this all the way up to the top of the gas, to the fill. That has no place to go, guys. Back in the day, it used to be vented, and effectively, if it was over full, it would just drip a little onto the ground. We can't do that anymore. Modern manufacturing denotes that that raw fuel gets looped back to the tank and the charcoal canister. When we overfill this, we end up with a situation, guys. If you want us to come under here, we'll show you what's going on, okay? Here's our charcoal canister, guys. You see that? Okay? Now, you can see it's wet. It's plainly wet, guys. All that right there is raw fuel, okay? Here's our lines coming to the tank and then ahead to the purge valve. But effectively, what's gone on with this, that overfilling of the fuel tank continuously, let's continually top it off, we're dropping raw fuel in this. Now, this is designed to siphon fuel vapor as the tank fills, as it gets hot, cold. Basically, we're designed to siphon fuel vapor through this. So what's in this canister, guys, is effectively a desiccant bag full of charcoal. They call it a charcoal canister. That's how it filters the fuel vapor before it sends it back out. What's happened from overfilling this continuously over and over and over again, guys, that raw fuel has filled this up, essentially melting the bag inside, the desiccant bag, and now we have the raw charcoal pellets are coming out of this and being pulled through the line, guys, all the way up to the purge valve at the front of the engine. So this now is so clogged with fuel that even if the vent valve is working, when we tested it, the vent valve was doing a perfect job according to the scan tool, but there's nowhere for the fuel vapor to go anymore. This is plugged up. It's locked off solid. We've got charcoal running all the way up to the front of the vehicle. Shouldn't have done that. Everything needs to be contained here. So effectively what we're gonna have to do for this gentleman now, we're gonna have to get him a new charcoal canister. We're gonna have to pull these lines off. We're gonna blow these out, see if we can clean them out. Hopefully we don't have to replace the charcoal lines as well. Hopefully we can get these all blown out. We've got to replace the vent valve. And then we're gonna have to take a look at the condition even now of the purge valve. So yeah, you guys wanna see something that's a little shocking, I'll show you something here in just a minute. All right guys, so you seen back there at the gas tank, right? We were showing you that raw fuel. This is our canister purge valve right up here, okay? The system works together to basically scavenge fuel vapor, put it back in the system. This is all for clean air emissions and effectively a good fuel loop. Keeps the vapor away from the driver, away from escaping into the air. We're basically recycling it through the engine and then back out the exhaust. So when that canister came apart, we literally have charcoal coming out of this line.
You can hear it too.
Yeah, you can hear it. You can hear it in the line.
Like a maraca.
Okay, so just yesterday when we pulled this apart, this is what came out of that line, guys. Those are little pieces, a little micro charcoal, okay, that is in that canister. It's supposed to be trapped in a desiccant bag. By overfilling this over and over again, it's come apart, and now we have it all the way up here. So, lesson in this is to basically understand modern vehicles, guys, you cannot top them off. When you're filling up with fuel and it stops, 56, 56, whatever it is, you want to get to that $60, man. That's me, right? I'm almost OCD when it comes to that. I want an even number, right? Don't do it, guys. That little bit of extra, that splashback, it's got to go somewhere. And in a modern vehicle, when there's no room left in the tank, it gets directed straight back in the charcoal canister. You do it enough, you're gonna soak that charcoal. There's no place else for it to go. Eventually the charcoal is gonna expand, the bag comes apart, you end up in a situation like this where it's now being pulled from the back of the vehicle, right above the gas tank, charcoal canister, all the way up here to the purge valve. So something simple could have been a relatively easy fix. We're thinking maybe a parts failure. Now could potentially, as we get into this, may turn into a complete EVAP system rebuild, guys. So this wasn't on the customer. He just bought this vehicle. It's whoever owned it before. But effectively, it's just a good lesson, guys, not to, when it stops, it stops. That's your full. I know it's hard. Pull the nozzle, put it away, and go on. Don't continually click it, and don't try and get to that next even dollar number. You just, it's not a good idea.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna be pretty much picking off where Aaron left off. I know Aaron had showed you guys exactly what went wrong, why it went wrong, and he showed you the little bit of charcoal we had up front coming out of the hoses from there. But now that we actually got the canister itself off, we're actually able to see, you probably won't be able to pick it up on camera, but if we look down this hole, it is full of pellets. So let's see if maybe we could pick it up. If not, we'll be able to dump some out and show you guys, but it's literally full to the brim. Like, there's no way anything was getting through that. So what we're gonna try right now is flipping this guy over, and there you go.
Holy, can't say it.
Yep. Oh. And yeah, guys, that's.
Wait, have you seen this before? Either one of you guys?
No, I've never seen this. This is a first for me.
Holy. Wow.
So just imagine all that going through your guys' hoses, and there's still way more in there. I'll be here probably hours yeah, I'd probably be here hours if I tried shaking all of it out, but you guys could just see all the carbon.
And now, again, what's this from?
Overfilling your gas tank.
So by continuously
by
overfilling your
continuing,
gas tank,
you know, once that actual gas nozzle click stops and you continue trying to round up to the next dollar and get that little extra bit in, you're just forcing more gas in, not letting the vapors actually be able to, this guy do its job. And pretty much you destroy the desiccant bag in here, which leads to this.
That's amazing.
So a simple thing as just overfilling your gas tank could, you know, potentially cause a lot of issues. In this customer's case, you know, we're hoping we could just blow out those lines, put the new canister in, and he's all good to go. But definitely could cause a lot of damage. So something to be aware of, and definitely something you don't want to happen to you at the end of the day. Yeah, it stop. You know, there's no reason to go over. You know, that's the nozzle doing its job, letting you know, hey, I'm full. You know, so. Fresh fade. Alright guys, so to give you guys a better look, we actually cut open the old canister box, and
your automotive litter box.
as you guys could see, to not make such a mess, but just to show you how much, there's hand easily.
It's not
It's full.
a few little plates
No.
and pellets. It's literally totally filled up.
Yep, it's like a litter box, exactly like Nick said. Wow. But yeah, guys, so something as small as just overfilling your tank could lead to something like this. So don't look over the little things. That's definitely what we learned today.
That is absolutely stunning.
But yeah, we'll get that new one installed, and we just wanted to show you what the actual inside looks, to show you how bad the failure actually is when it happens. So yeah, guys, I mean, might as well at this point.
Pour it out. Pour it out.
Just to show you guys, might as well.
Okay, unedited, so we're not messing around.
Yep. That looks like all. Oh no, I lied.
Almost.
Just do a little bit more.
For demonstration purposes, I think it's good.
Do you think that's
Just
enough?
for the shock value of the video. Hope this makes a good thing. All right, so like I said, guys, this is the old guy. I'm just making sure everything looks the same, lines up the same. I actually just finished cleaning up the bracket here that mounts in and holds it into the vehicle. It was covered in old fuel just because, like Aaron had explained, this thing was just packed to the brim, letting it seep out. So I got it cleaned up, you know, looking a little bit better. Looks a lot better, actually. This thing was pretty filthy. So right now I'm just getting this new one. So I'm getting my air hose here set up so we could blow out that hose that goes to the charcoal canister, but from the front to the back, and make sure we don't have any more of those charcoal pieces in any of the lines before we install that new canister, just to make sure everything's clean, empty, there's no debris or contaminants in it. So I'm gonna get this hose ran, get my air chuck hooked up, we'll get it blowed out here soon. Got the nozzle in, guys, so just gonna run some air through it. Make sure nozzle's not leaking. Right. Hold on. All right, guys, so I'm actually underneath the vehicle right now. We're getting those lines actually aired out right now to make sure there's no charcoal pellets in there. It's gonna be these two lines right here that go to the actual canister. Let's see if we can get a better shot. There they are. Those two lines. So I have my good buddy Jay that's up there. He's gonna run some air through the actual filler of the gas tank so we get some airflow going in, and I'm gonna have to tap these lines and get all those charcoal pellets out. See if I can get a quick video so you guys can see some of it coming out. All right, Jay, run the air.
Hey, do I just keep it going?
Yeah, just keep it going.
Okay.
Oh, it's literally just tap. Tap, 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 tap. And they'll start working their way out. It's not gonna come out a lot because it's kind of packed in there. With the help of the air and the vibrations.
Hey, there is some blowback up here. Should
Yeah,
there be none?
no, there's gonna be a little bit of blowback. You're good.
Here we go.
Alright, guys. It's a bit of a tedious process, but if you see, we have been able to knock some of those pellets out of here. So we can see if we can get any more out. Might not be able to catch them on camera, but there's a few coming out. Want to be careful because these are plastic lines. I'm barely tapping them, just more vibrating them. Swap hands here. Using our handy dandy O-light with a magnetic base to illuminate me in here. Please sponsor us, O-light. Maybe you guys caught that one, but it was one that just came out of it. Alright guys, so we're going to be throwing in our new canister box in. We just finished blowing out our lines. They're not sounding Maraca-like anymore, if you guys hear. So we got most of those pellets out of there, luckily. It was a bit of effort having to blow and vacuum
And hit it like a maraca.
yeah, seriously. So I'm just going to make sure I have everything I need. I need my 2 screws, which are back here. And we're going to start throwing this guy back in. Which I think might be easier if I go underneath. Like this. Alright. So, I'm gonna grab these guys. I'll get routed this way. Yep. And this guy's gonna sit like this. Right here. Like so. And might get some debris in your face. Just gonna start by threading them in.
No. I wasn't going to worry about it. I'm only going to replace the parts that
So-
need to be replaced. I'm really hoping that it didn't do any damage to it.
Got that
It has no code.
threaded in.
And they were working.
So it should hold itself. Then we make sure none of our hoses are gonna get caught
Charcoal.
in the way. So we're gonna move these guys out our road.
Back on.
This guy. I think that one should be routed up there. Top. These two. I'm gonna go down through here. I can't see. Okay. So that guy's gonna go back there. These two go up to here. That mounts there. This guy's good right there. So we'll leave it loose. So we can adjust it if needed. Latch this guy back in. There you go.